Hello, hello, everybody. This is the show Speak It with me, your girl, Sha Speaks. And today, I hope you guys are ready for a great show. Everybody that's watching, hello, hello, hello. Shout out to me, talk to your girl. Let me know you are there watching, listening, Facebook, YouTube. Listen, the past couple of days have been great. Y'all been showing so much love. I'm talking about we've had over thousands of views just in just what 3 days? 3 days. Thousands of views. Y'all been sharing, y'all been showing y'all love. But today, baby, we are going to talk about men's love language. Ladies, you want to go ahead and tag in all your girlfriends, tag in all your homegirls. Fellas, you're going to want to come in and support these men as they begin to speak on some of the things that are misunderstood. They feel misunderstood. And so we're going to dig through some of these questions and some of these issues and to see if we can kind of get some common ground or get some understanding on tonight. So let's have the conversation. So first I'm going to invite up, again, is a returning guest, David DK in the building.
What up, good people? What's going on? What's going on?
Yes. And one of the men that kind of triggered this question or triggered the conversation is Willie Thomas.
What's going on?
Hey.
Hey.
The other man will be joining us later, but we can go ahead and get this conversation started now. Listen, so men's love language. And listen, if you guys have any comments or questions for these guys, please throw it in there. And at the end of the day, we're going to respect each other and love and actually just have the conversation so we can get understanding. Because I feel like a lot of times women operate and flow from a place and react to men and they're like totally lost. Like, why she cut up like that? Why did she ignore me? Why did she put distance in between us? What's going on? And there is a lot of time where, it's just a misunderstanding. But there's a common misunderstanding between men and women, and we're going to find out today. So today for our first question, let me see. What's the biggest thing misunderstood by men and women? So I'm going to direct that question to David. Go ahead and take it. What do you think, in your opinion, in your experience, what has been one of the biggest things misunderstood about men by women?
I would think I'm gonna say our level of care. I think they definitely misunderstand. We all, I mean, every man shows how they care differently. I think what I'm saying, they get pissed off or upset or whatever the case may be, and they you don't care. That's their favorite line. You don't care. You don't give a whatever, right? However they lay it out to you. Yeah, I think care would be definitely one of the biggest things they misunderstand.
So with not caring, is it because they looking for you to show they care, or like, give me an example, like, because my thing is this. If I'm telling you, I feel like you don't care, is because either you ain't listening, or you're focused on work a lot, or you're not asking me about what's going on in my world, or I feel like there's a disconnect between me and you. But I'm not gonna lie, I do hear a lot of like homegirls when they talk about their guy and situations do come about, they'll say, I don't think he cares. Willie, have you experienced that where a person told you, like, I don't think you care?
I have, but it's not that. It's just like we process things differently than women. You understand what I'm saying? Like things that women may seem that's it's important. We got to do this. We got to do that. We got to get this done. This is very important. But in our eyes, it's it's important to us too, but they don't understand. I think some women don't understand that we already carrying a heavy plate with other stuff. So it's not like we don't care. It's like we trying to find that balance between what we got going on and then what whoever we're dating, whoever we seeing, whoever we in conversation with at that time that feels that about the caring. But everybody's care language is different. So you can't expect me to care how you want me to. You can't really. I mean, it's just like the care language is different. Everybody cares differently. Like some might stop right then and there and just straight focus. Some be halfway focused and then doing other things at the same time. And some we hear you, but just because we're not moving at the pace that you want us to, doesn't mean that we don't care or we're not focused on what you're saying. So what may deem to us as multitasking may seem to some women as we don't care.
Would you say, and I'm just speaking on the women you guys have encountered, would you say that is coming from a place of impatience? Like a lot of women are just impatient versus.
I would say some. I wouldn't say all. I would. The only reason why I would say some is because my mind. I might be having a rough day. Something might be happening. And I may slip up and do put it on the back burner. But there's some where, okay, you already asked me to do XYZ, but then in the midst of me doing XYZ, you come at me with something else, and you expect me to stop doing XYZ that you wanted done to go way over here to do something different. So it's like you got some that was raised, hey, you need whenever I say, hey, you got to drop, and just do it, because like I say, I've counted a lot of dominant women that I get.
You attract dominant women or you encounter dominant women? Uh-oh.
I think
it's freezing on your end. The live is freezing on your end. It was getting juicy too. Well, David, I'm going to throw the question to you. Do you think, or have you encountered a lot of impatient women, and that's why they're saying that they don't care? Or you?
I think when it comes to it, impatient women, I definitely have had my share of impatient women. But I also feel like at the end of the day, it's not so much, I think we revolve around a different priority list, right? I think, kind of piggyback off what he said. I mean, what we may be doing is multitasking. The priority level to what you're feeling at that moment, right? May not be, at the top of my priority list, right? When I got 19 other things going on in my mind. And I think at times, when the emotion of care comes into place, I feel like, and I'm gonna only speak from my experience. I think it's selfish acts of, like you're more concerned with how you take, the situation or the importance of what you got going on, instead of being like, hey, you know what, let me analyze before I, before I even make the assumption that he doesn't care. Instead, they react. The reaction is, completely in a negative, or maybe not even a negative manner, but it's in a, it's a, well, I'll do it by myself. If you ain't gonna do it, you know what, you don't care, I'm gonna do it myself. And then, then now you're argumentative. You don't want to be touched. You don't want to be talked to. You out the house, and you go to your home girl house or your friend's house, your sister house, whoever, right? And then, now that conversation around your lady friends, right, is he didn't even care to do this. You ain't asked that man how, that man got let go today. But he ain't come to you because he didn't want to stir the household. that is when, you know what I'm saying, you didn't care to see how my day went.
Facts, big facts.
Woo! Listen. Hey, we got somebody else to add to the mix. Woo! Y'all making this thing spicy. Mark from
Yo,
Chicago.
what up? What's up, fellas?
Woo!
What's
What's
going
going
on,
on,
fellas?
Mark?
Chilling,
Listen.
man. What's up, Shay? You good?
Yes, I am good.
That's what's
So
up.
we asked the first question: what's the biggest misunderstanding women have about men? And so far, David, talk to him. Tell him what you said.
I mean, I think it's just about care. I think the misunderstanding of if we care or not.
I
And
think a
that,
lot of
that
women do misunderstand that men do care more than they lead on.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
lead
yeah,
on,
me too.
huh? More, we care more than y'all understand.
I agree.
That's more of the reality.
It, it's just the weight, man. It's like you don't understand. Like, I don't think some women understand really like the internal weight that we carry. Not only the eternal weight, but the things from our past that kind of really uh take grips in us on a silent basis. So we're dealing with stuff that's in the inside. Then we're dealing with the weight of the world because we got to be the protector, the provider, the mechanic. Sometimes the daycare driver, take the kids to school. We got
The
to be the
alarm clock.
handyman. We got to be the alarm
Alarm
clock.
clock.
So sometimes we got to be. Don't
You know what? I
really.
think I also chiming in. I mean, I think it's more so that women sometimes don't think that we have feelings too. And
Fact.
the thing about it is let me be devil's advocate real quick. I think a lot of that is because we don't display our feelings like that. We're not taught to. So a lot of times our silence is actually as is an expression that women don't understand because they always wanted to express. So, but what women need to understand is that in order to learn a man's love language, that you have to learn his actions more than what he say. You have to, if you understand your man actions and his way of living and his walk of life and his, because again, we're not talkative people. But if you look at your man and the way he move, and because we're predictable, most men are predictable. We do kind of the same routine, the same time, the same way. And if a woman understands that if she's just looking at her man and watching him work or watching his actions, then she'll understand how he moves in his love language. Why would you present me with something that you know I'm not into? Why would I go to a football game if I'm not into football? I like basketball. You know, I'm always running home trying to catch the game. I don't have to express that I like basketball, but you should be knowing through my actions that hey, he like basketball. Let me get him tickets for the game for his birthday instead of flowers. And so a lot of times women need to understand that men not gonna talk about what we want because we action. We're bred to we're bred to take action. That's why the little sisters and the girlfriends call us and be like, well, I'm gonna call my big brother because we action. We not coming to talk. So we
At
action.
all.
So women need to understand that if you to learn a man's love language, all you have to do is watch him. All you got to do is watch what he do. Most of our routines as men never changes. It's
Right.
always this. You know what I'm saying? We gonna go to work at the same time, get off at the same time. Women, Shay, y'all know this. If we say y'all could predict what time we coming home, and if we come home 20 to 30 minutes late, you like, yo, where you been?
Where you been?
Where you know what you been on? Let me smell you. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing. If a woman understands a man's actions more than his words, then I think she'll learn his love language because our men love language is not spoken word; it's actually action. That's basically what it is. That's why they say chivalry is dead. No, it's not dead. We gonna do our chivalry, but y'all want us to talk at the same time. We don't. You can't get both now. We express our feelings through action.
So, Mark, that's what you would say is the biggest misunderstood thing. But okay, is that you guys are more action, not verbal.
No, we're not verbal. Even a man can actually not say nothing, and another man could be intimidated by him, and he ain't said a word.
Right.
It's all about that action. It's all about that action. Yep.
So, Willie, what would you say is the biggest thing misunderstood about men by women?
I mean, it all goes back to the same thing. Is that we have feelings too. It's like, I mean, you can't, even though we might not show it then, but we get in the heat of the argument, and then you throwing low blows verbally and different things like that, and we looking like, hey man, hey, you know what I'm saying? We going toe for toe, in the argument, but when we get by ourselves, we like, dang, bro, that was like, man, that was like a low blow, man. That's that hurt, and it's like, I don't know what it is, but it's just like from generational, we was always taught that, hey man, you better be tough. You better not, hey man, you better not cry in front of these women. Hey man,
You lead
hey,
me into the next question. As a
uh,
man, has it been difficult to show weakness or vulnerability to women? As a man, is it difficult to show her weakness or vulnerability?
man, listen, shit. In 2022, absolutely, because nowadays it's kind of hard to show your vulnerability towards women, because not all but some is looking for the next T on you. So it's just like, okay, how can I open myself up to a woman, or open up myself up to somebody, and I got deep issues, and then once we get in an argument, or we kind of split up, man, all my stuff is aired out. So it's kind of like, no, I'm gonna just deal with that eternal, and not really, you know what I mean, not really give you everything, because it's like, it's almost kind of like, who can you trust? I
Right.
mean,
Yep.
so that's one of the biggest things, is what for me is talking about uh childhood, growing up trauma in a relationship, not knowing if we get in an argument, is it gonna be low blows where you reacting because your dad, or you did this because your daddy used to do that, so now you acting just like your daddy,
Right.
blah blah
Hmm.
blah. So it's like,
They
so
want
now
to label
it
your
shuts.
faults.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Go
So
ahead,
Yep.
now it
David.
kind of
Go
like
ahead.
shuts
You
down.
coming out. Come on
Go
out.
ahead.
Come on out. David, talk to us.
So
As a
so
man, has it been
as a man,
difficult?
I mean today, I'm gonna go off what he said. 2022. I mean, you can't. I mean, it's hard because every 60% of the women want to be more masculine than we are. You know what I'm saying? You
Facts,
want to
bro.
be. You know what I'm saying? You want to be the man. You know what I'm saying? You want to. You know what I'm saying? You want to wear the
Y'all want to
draws.
be the man.
Right.
Yeah, like, it's
You know
like
what I'm
what
saying?
that what
Like,
that what
listen,
that soft
I can
side
pay
at.
for my yeah. I could pay for my own. I got my own this. I didn't say you ain't have nothing. Let me open the door for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't beat me to the door. Let me, you know what I'm saying? Let me walk on the outside of the sidewalk. Let me show you, you know what I'm saying, how it feels to be catered to. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, you misconstruing the whole thing. Now you got women, you know what I'm saying, when you try to give them that side, it's you know what I'm saying, it's tough. You know what I'm saying? You open up to somebody, you giving them, you know what I'm saying, you know what, I'm having these late night conversations with you. Because when I was in my 20s, early 20s, conversation, baby, what we doing, and I'm out. Now, you know what I'm saying, we getting older, it's natural. You know what I'm saying? Now, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I had to be tough all these years. I'm in my 30s now. I'm in my mid 30s. Now, now I'm in the mindset of, okay, I've been married. I know what that's like, right? So now I know, you know what I'm saying, hey, you know what? There is women out there that you can confine in, you can trust in. But, even then, some scenarios, you can't trust that. You done gave them all of this. And then, like he was just saying about being in an argument, I done confided in you. We done been together 2, 3 years. I done told you about this when I was 8, this when I was 15, how I struggled when I was in 20, my 20s with, different women doing this, doing that. And now, hey, all of my weaknesses on Front Street. They running to Facebook. They running to Snapchat.
Bruh, when I
They
talk about some
running, you know what I'm
Facebook,
saying? Listen, this it's like a rat race that they, you know what I'm saying, they waiting to do. Hey, girl, you know so and so did this. No. Why?
hey, they beat you telling your own story, Doc.
Right.
Man, please. Oh.
All right, Mark. Same question. As a man, has it been difficult showing your weakness or vulnerability to women? And I will add this. And it doesn't come from a place of being taught by the old saying, you better not cry. They better not see you cry.
Yeah, you know what? Again, piggybacking off of Willie, yes, it has been difficult. And I think it's been difficult because I think a lot of times it also has to do the way a woman was raised. You know, I think it also has to do with that. Again, this is not saying bad thing because some women, it's just the way they were raised, what type of environment they were brought up in. Were they brought up in a household where the man was the dominant one, or were they brought up in a household where the woman was the dominant one or the sole breadwinner? Was they brought up in a single parent home, or were both parents in the house? Was the grandma?
The grandmama, I don't know what else he was finna say though.
Hey, it was a mouthful though. He was about to let us have it. Whatever came out the grandma was a mouthful.
Grandmama.
Okay. So what I was saying, I think again, where were they raised by their grandmother? What did she teach her? So it makes it hard for men nowadays to show weakness towards women because you have flip side of it. You have so many weak men. I'm just being honest. There's not a lot of us.
Wait, hold on. When you say weak, what does that mean, and what does that look like when you say there are so many weak men? So,
running away from their responsibilities is number one. That's to me that's a sign of a weak man. It doesn't necessarily have to do with a child. It also has to do with the responsibility of how treating a woman. You have so many weak men that figure like they can have 2 and 3 and 4. That's not a man. That's actually a narcissist mentality. You know what I'm saying? That's actually a dictator type of situation. So it's like on the flip side, it makes it hard for men to show some type of weakness, some type of vulnerability, some type of showing emotion. Some emotion because, hey, let's be honest with you. Some men haven't been taught to be men. Some men haven't had a father to say, hey, son, like you were saying, as far as like, being raised by a father who said, hey, you better not cry. Some men ain't never had to have that. So now the woman has to sometimes teach the man how to show vulnerability because he's so guarded that it makes it difficult for her to even get to him. So sometimes we have to look at it in that aspect too. But as far as showing vulnerability to a woman, most men nowadays don't because they're scared. They're scared of 2 things. They're scared of the rejection and they're scared of the response of showing this side of themselves. So it's like, am I going to be punished? Am I going to be blackballed? Am I going to be looked upon as a weak guy if I say, I love you too? You know what I'm saying? Or is it my tone that got to say it so masculine? Or she's so hurt that she like can't even accept the fact that I actually, because sometimes that happens. Some women been in so many bad relationships that when a man tries to be a man, she don't accept it. And so now what he set back and go, well, I ain't finna show that side then.
Yeah, they run away.
Or it's a bigger fight.
It's a huge fight. It's a pull.
Yeah.
And now, because you gonna scar them, the woman that comes behind you it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad for her until he either actually takes it upon himself to say, yo, I need to be healed from this, or
Yeah.
Hey,
Or what is continue
go
to go
ahead.
on, or it's like it's kind of like
it ain't my Wi-Fi. I don't know what it is, but okay.
or it's kind of like the response of like, hey man, you it's kind of like hard because we don't really know what's going on. So it's kind of like make us feel like, hey, we can't really come sometimes to a woman be like, hey man, you hurt my feelings, like you hurt me. Though those words was a low blow. You kind of like hurt me. Well, I don't care because you did this, you did
Yeah.
that, and I'm gonna sit. And then it's like, okay, so I tried to come at you soft, so now it's like, now if you could go there, I could go there.
Yep.
So it's like, it's kind of like, how can
that
we,
love though? Is that caring that we're just
It's
okay
not-
with if you
Nah.
speak your
nah,
Not at all. That's like the women who like like if you ask a woman nowadays, go up to a gas station, hey man, hey, how you doing? Let me pump your gas for you real quick. You know what I'm saying? Or you drop someone on the ground and they like, look, I don't want to talk to you no. I got a man. Like, whoa, look, you dropped your wallet, shorty. That's all I'm trying to tell you. Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? They so offish that then you be like, well, forget, I ain't showing love to nobody. If she drop her wallet next time, I'm taking it. Like, it don't even matter. You know what I'm saying? It's so bad because it's a two-way street. A lot of men mess it up for a lot of good men, and a lot of weak women mess it up for a lot of good women. You know what I'm saying? Depending on the circumstances, depending on how they receive the man. All men ain't bad. You know, all men ain't dictators.
I think it's important to make a safe space for each other in a relationship. I definitely agree with that. Shout out to Pastor Maurice Perry. They coming on tomorrow. We're gonna be speaking about unforgiveness. So this is gonna be so dope tomorrow. Make sure y'all all tune in because we gotta go in. Anywho, but and what y'all are saying, I definitely understand that. But then when it comes to a good woman trying to have a solidified relationship with someone who may have had difficulties with being vulnerable, she has to, like you said, she now has to take on this guy that has tried to be vulnerable. But my thing is this: why won't they do what it takes to recover before dating again, so she won't have to deal with that and be broken by him before he makes the decision to say, oh, my bad, I was putting you through all that because of what I went through in my past.
But that goes both ways.
Yep. I was just thinking what I'm thinking.
We definitely get hit with trauma from 2-3 relationships ago. You know what I'm saying? This dude cheated. This dude stayed out all night. This dude didn't pay no mind when they was home. This dude didn't cook. This dude didn't take out the trash. Whatever it may be. I'm not speaking
my baby daddy.
like that. Right.
But not only that, some of us, I feel like
you breaking up, Willie.
Too.
You're breaking up, Willie.
No, I'm saying I'm breaking up. Am I breaking up now?
You good.
You good now.
No, so what I was saying is we also had that sense of, I know for me for a long time, my biggest fear was I was scared to be alone. So it was just that thing like, hey man, I could stay in a messed up relationship, man, because at least I got somebody. Thank you for
being honest. Thank you for being honest.
You know, I got somebody I come home to. I'm not lonely. It may not be the best, but but that stems from a generational thing of that's the history as far as childhood of being lonely, abandoned, different things like that. So it's like sometimes it makes us hold on to something that we really know it's not for us, but it's just that fear. It's just that fear of being lonely. Like a lot of women, they stay in dysfunctional relationships with dysfunctional men because of their fear of being lonely. They don't have their person and just different things like that.
It's comfortability. It's comfortable.
Right.
I know I might argue Tuesday through Friday, but you know what? I'm going to come home on Saturday and everything, you know what I'm saying? We're going to cook out. We're going to have a good time. It's mine, right? You know what I'm saying? We go to church on Sunday, like everything great. But Sunday evening, we back at each other's throat before bedtime. The kids sleep, but I'm back at your head, right? You know what I'm saying? We went to church and all. Fake smiles. I mean, that's comfortable. Because it's a routine. And I think a lot of relationships, you know what I'm saying, it's 10 years down the line and they didn't realize, you know what I'm saying, what truly they did to the next 5 years of their life. Comfortability becomes a pattern, and when you break it, it causes confusion. And if you don't heal from confusion, it's scarring the next person. You know what I'm saying? It's so much attached to that, and I think definitely it comes from, like you were saying, Willie, from childhood. You know what I'm saying? Like just being, really in a sense, no matter how you want to, you want to paint it, that's a part of being lost. You don't know what, you know what I'm saying, truly being fulfilled is. And, once you find it, if you've been living comfortable, you know what I'm saying, you're not going to know what to do with it. Then now you ran off something good, you know what I'm saying? And that goes for both sides.
I just feel led to say this. Those that are watching, women who are watching, and y'all hearing these nuggets of wisdom, know that these are all believers, Christ men, living for God, okay? So sometimes in your choosing, choose a man that's going to pray for you too. Choose a man that's going to really, uphold his faith and go to church and listen to and read the word of God and truly be guided by the Holy Spirit as you guys are in relationship. And so I just wanted to acknowledge that, because I didn't even introduce that, because this platform is definitely faith-based, but I don't want to always have to say that in my title, Sanctified Podcast, just for you to tune in, right? And we're all real people, but I just feel led to let the people know, like, all these men on here, they go to church, they got children that go to church with them. This is a youth pastor, Pastor Mark Dixon, youth pastor, you know what I'm saying? Willie, been in the church for David, been in the church, serving, ministering, speaking, all of that stuff in the church, and they still are finding themselves encountering, and now you ain't got to name no names, but some of these women they talking about are women in the church too, just as messy, just taking advantage of their past, taking advantage of their trauma, and throwing out there to the wolves when they break up, or whatever the case may be. So what I'm also saying is this can happen in all walks of life, but what I'm just sharing with you all, that these are all men of faith on the line. So I'm gonna go to the next question. I'm gonna keep it rolling. The next question is, what has been the best strategy you've used to gain understanding while being misunderstood? Let me fix that. What's the best? Who want to take that on? Pastor, go ahead.
The best strategy I've used while being misunderstood, naturally as a man, you go silent. You go silent. You always go silent. Sometimes even
Why y'all do that? We be aggravated with
well because
ladies, put in the comment. Y'all don't like that.
Y'all don't like it, but sometimes it's necessary. And the reason why it's necessary, because just as sometimes as a man, we don't want to, y'all throw low blows. We don't want to throw low blows. Not to a woman. We to another man we might, but when it comes to the woman, if you're a man of God, number one, like you just said, and you know your faith base and stuff like that, to throw a low blow is more detrimental to us as men of God than it could ever be to what you say, because we got to forgive ourselves for that. You may not even forgive us. It hurts us more if we throw a low blow just as you throw, because we're men of God. So God is going to get us, because again, we're the head of the house. And if the devil can attack the head, then he got the whole entire house. So for us to go down that level and stoop to that low blow, we rather sometimes just keep silent and then come out of that shell and then talk about it. The thing about it is most of the time we go silent because we have to figure out, what's my next approach when I do come out of this? How should I approach? How should I say it? I received everything she said. I received or he or whatever, even being misunderstood in church, even people backbiting and talking about you because they honestly don't know you. So most of the time when people don't know you, they make up stuff about you. And so that's a huge problem. So the thing about it is that sometimes we'll keep silent, just to save them. To be honest with you.
And then not only that, that silent treatment is a powerful weapon towards somebody that's real aggressive.
Yeah, yeah,
And so
yeah,
that's like, in a way, it's just like that. But in a way, it's like, man, if I get this silent treatment, I know that's really gonna dig. That's gonna grind her
yeah.
gears. That's really gonna, because when some women, when they can't get a response, it's like
It's a
when they're
trigger.
not getting that response, then that's when them low blows
Yep.
come. And then after we hit our low blows, then we sit in the back like, after it's all said and done, we done went home or went our separate way, something like that. Then he was like, dang, bro, I should never said that. Knowing you love her, but it's like, man, but I had to get up off him though. You know what I mean? So it's like, if we do low blows, it's like, because we either trying to get you up off us, or it's like, man, hey man, I'm trying to prevent this thing. I done gave you the solid treatment, you still coming. So now I don't want to be physical, so now I gotta verbally say something to kind of get you up off is why I could kind of diffuse the situation, going about my merry way.
And most of the
So
time, the low blows from a man, when we low blow to y'all women or whatever, it's always got to do something with what we know about y'all past. It's
Fact.
never really got something to do about what you're doing now. Because if you cook and clean and taking care of us now, we can't throw a low blow. But if you told us about dude that used to mistreat you or abuse you, that's where we go. And so the problem is, if we go there, honestly speaking, we're hurting ourselves more, because it's take longer for us to recover from that, because we like, yo, I shouldn't have went that. That was low. Now you might
Right.
have talked about me, how crazy, how ugly, whatever I am. But see, that's cool. We could take that. But our low blows is way different from y'all. One of our low blows can actually break us up. It can actually tear the house up. It'll be one
So
of
I
those things.
believe.
she'll be ready to leave.
Yeah, period.
You said that.
So I believe our silence allows us to also respond in a manner that doesn't always result to the low blow. Because I feel like when a woman is constantly, I mean, call it nagging, call it what you want, right? You know what I'm saying? The aggressor in the situation. You know, as men, I feel like, you know what I'm saying, a lot of times it's like, listen, just go on about your business. You know what I'm saying? It's more of our mental, like, listen, you really trying to poke the bear right now. Like, at the end of the day, you really don't want the argument that you really stirring up. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, I mean, the type of low blow that, you know what I'm saying? Because not only are we sitting there telling you, you know what I'm saying, like, we probably got I'm horrible with my facial expression. So I know every time I'd have been in a situation, I'm quiet and I'm looking at you like, man, stop playing with me. Like this not what you want to do today. Like, it's not even it. So
You don't
when
want
it
that
comes
smoke.
to, you know what I'm saying, right, you know, and then when you expose, you know what I'm saying, the low blow or the comment or, you know what I'm saying, your opinion on something that, you know what I'm saying, she feels, you know what I'm saying, she's healed from, and she's different now, you know what I'm saying, it's like, oh, now you done attacked her whole character. She, you know what I'm saying, all the work she did to heal and do whatever she did to come to you, and you gonna throw that in her face? Man, listen. Hey, you talking about setting the house on fire.
I have a
Right,
question.
right
Though.
there.
When you go silent, what is your tip to give women? What should we do when you go silent?
Let peace be
Leave it
still.
alone.
Leave it.
Leave it.
I mean, leave it alone.
Let
And
peace
now,
be still.
But what if you
I'm
deal
gonna
with
be.
a person that
now,
like to go silent for days?
That's not good.
now,
You can't
that's
do
not
that.
good.
Then
So
that's
what
the
is your
I used
communication
to be
error
that
between the
person.
two.
Shay, I used to be that person.
what's a healthy
Don't
time
answer no
frame though?
text.
I used to be that
You
person. I'll
you
go
should
a week.
you shouldn't let a time frame, that night, you shouldn't go to sleep without having some type of
Yep.
either a soft conversation or just a text like, hey man, I kind of was wrong. I'm sorry. Da 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 da. Now if we break the ice and y'all don't respond, then it's like, dang man, I should just left it how it is. Cause
Mark,
Right,
you know what
right.
I'm saying? It's one of the things like man, I'm waiting till
But
she was smart because she started that thing, man.
right. But
And
I
she
feel
low
like
blow.
what I took from, well, I'm just gonna speak for me. What I took from being married was, I ain't gonna say me. We not going to bed until we get this done. I don't care if we got to be at work at 7:30. We'll talk about it till 6:15. I don't care, because at the end of the day, our life is our life. A job is gonna be there. You know, they gonna hire somebody if we don't go there tomorrow morning.
And I don't want to go to
So,
work with that stuff on my
and I
conscience.
don't want to go to work tomorrow with the energy that you bring. So regardless of how people feel like, oh, I don't care that to work, I don't care, man. Listen, when you step outside and you go to your car in the morning, when you go to the gas station, you know what I'm saying, you carry that energy with you. You know what I'm saying, regardless of, you know what I'm saying, you admit it up. It could be something that she said to pee you off 2 weeks ago, and you could be in the gas station over here and go, hold on, man, what? She in the gas station? Did she say something? Yeah, I mean, in my experience.
And honestly speaking, not to
I
cut
got
you
a
off,
question for
on
you,
the
Mark.
on the spiritual side though, the devil will meet you right there.
At the front door.
Yes.
Literally. If he
Yeah.
already know you right there, your whole everybody at your job would be, you be like, is everybody in here on the same page today? Like, for
Right.
real? This one of them days, huh? Y'all want to see the old boy come back out? Like, okay,
Y'all want to
like he'll
attack.
meet you. Yeah, yeah,
So what
And
advice
not
would you give guys? Because you said you used to be one of those people that would go
yeah.
days in silence. What
Yep.
broke that? What advice would you give that? There are women on this live that deal with men who go silent for days and they don't know what to do with it. They love them, they care about the guy, but it's really bringing their relationship on the edge, because every time there's a conflict, he's go silent for days. What broke that? What changed that for you?
Well, first thing I'll say this is that she can't change it.
Okay.
That's number one. She cannot change it. The man has to be in a situation where he understands and knows that this is detrimental to his relationship. And if he values her as a woman, or values the relationship, or even values the family aspect of the relationship, he will then realize that I'm not just hurting them, but I'm also hurting me. Because if you realize that you can't live without your family or live without her, then at the end of the day, you have to understand, look in the mirror and go, yo, I got to do something about this. This is not conducive to the way of life that I'm supposed to be living. Lord forbid, if you're a man of God, it's definitely not conducive. So the thing about it is that what made me come out of that was me. She still cooked. She still, cleaned like it was just nothing. Mind you, I mean, mind you, it made me more mad because it's like, oh, you ain't suffering like me, or you think it's sweet around here. But what she was doing, she wasn't feeding my fire. She already knew that I was here. And she only thing she knew to do is to say, well, if he feels like that, I can't stop me from being me. I can't let him or the devil use him to sidetrack me too. Somebody got to be the yang to his yin. And so at the end of the day, what I had to do was go, the more I sat in there, I got worse. The house was, and let me tell you something, the house was actually put together, but I was getting worse.
big fact.
So the thing about it is that I would go to work with an attitude. I would do certain things. I would, spend money that I shouldn't have been spending. And next thing I know, I look up and I can basically bury myself in my own crap. And so it takes me to come out of that. She could remind me who she is all day. She could snap, oh, and I wouldn't be here if it was, and da. She could do all that. Only thing that's gonna do is add fuel to the fire, because it's gonna be like, but what about me? So it took me.
But
But
hold
but
on. Go ahead, Willie.
I said, but to add a little bit to that, man. What I would tell all men, because I do it now.
Mhm.
I was just like that, man. When I was married, man, my shutdown game was strong. You know what I mean? Because man, like I zone out. You be talking, I could just zone out. I could be in Paris somewhere, and you sitting right there, just oh, you ain't hear me? Yeah, I heard you. I could catch them the little catchphrases to remind you, like, yeah, I was listening, but I really wasn't listening. But when I was tired of going through that cycle, man, I tell anybody, man, any men, man, go get therapy. Go talk to a therapist. That junk works. I mean, it makes people, man, oh man,
Facts.
is somebody, is you psychotic, you got a mental, you got this going on, man. Man, listen, man, when you talking to them people, man, and it's just like they just sitting there, man, and they really giving you like advice. It's like you got somebody that you don't know, you can freely talk, and they can freely assess the situation. And not only okay, they talking about the situation, but they make you see, hey, okay, we hear what you're saying about them, but I don't want to hear about them. I want to hear about you. Like, tell me that what's going on with you that makes you function like this. What
Facts.
makes you break down like this? What makes you hey, even men get to the point that if it's so bad, man, we don't even want to have sex with the woman that we with, married or not married. So it's just like that shit down like, nah, I ain't with all that on.
Facts.
And it's like
The
you
non-bias,
want
the
it, but
non-bias help.
right. So it's like you
Yep.
want it, but then it's like, man, you done did all this, man. I ain't. And then now it's like, boom, y'all done went 1 week, a month, 2 months. Now the whole marriage in the turmoil because your wife or your significant other thinking that you cheating because you ain't giving no loving. But it's not like that. It's just like you done did so much argumentative and damages, like that love and that sexual part is like dead. So it gets deep. But I
So
advise everybody to go to therapy though.
I love it. 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 You got men on the line talking about absolutely therapy. Okay, before we wrap this show up, I got one last thing to ask all of you because Mark, you touched on it. Because you said you had to change. She couldn't force you to change. Your environments couldn't. You had to change because you wanted to change. I think women need to know that, right? Have you all experienced women trying to change you?
Yes,
110%.
110.
1000%. What you talking about? What?
Hey, it even
What?
gets so bad that sometimes, hey,
What?
I think I want you to dress like this. And
It gets so
you
bad
know
they be
you don't
having
want
the
to
help
dress
of the
like
mama
that.
trying to change you.
Hey,
What's
call
your
everybody
advice? Like,
hey,
stop trying to change me, or just, I mean, what? Because
Stop.
what if they want to just see you
stop.
have a better?
What man? When a
Nah.
man want to change, a man gonna change. But and then honest truth, a man will change for somebody he really wants to be with.
I was just about to say that.
Truly and deeply want to be want to marry. He'll treasure it. He'll change. He'll be like, man, I just can't lose this. Man, I gotta figure something out.
Will he change enough to no longer recognize his own self, though?
No man wants to
But
lose
you can have
themselves
a
in no
balance.
relationship.
Hold on, DK, I can't hear nothing you saying. I just hear your face going rah 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 rah.
But it's a way that you can have balance without really losing yourself, and that's why it's important to find the right partner that will help you balance. I don't think no woman wants a man that's up under them 24/7, 7 days a week. Can I see what I'm saying? Hey, it's Monday Night Football, man. You got some bros, man. Go hang out with the bros. You ain't got to be here with me all the time, and vice versa. And I think that when everybody have their own space with their friends, but the respect level is there. Like, hey, you got your friends, but don't go out there. You know they be wild and you wild too. You know you got to come home. You got a husband. You got to come home to. They don't. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have friends with boundaries. And
Willie, they say you need a show by yourself.
Hey, but it's just like you know, it's just the boundaries. You know, we could have fun and stuff, and sometimes we can't decompress because our woman want us to be with them all the start a big old argument like, oh, you sleeping with such, oh, you doing this, you doing that. That's why you want to go out. That's why you want to go play basketball, especially coming from a brother who played high school basketball, and basketball is his passion because he couldn't make it. So what he do is he go play in the yard. He go play at LA Fitness Center with the homies, and that's just something he like to do. But if you know that's what he like to do, there shouldn't be no reason why you can't sit on the sideline and chill a day or two. It's not gonna hurt you.
Right.
But it's just go ahead, say what you was gonna say.
Go ahead, D. My fault.
So yeah, man. So I mean, as far as they gotta have boundaries.
Recognize yourself.
I mean, as far as recognizing yourself, I mean, you're always, as a man, you're gonna keep a percentage of you, regardless of how much you change. You at the end of the day, you gotta wake up every day and look in the mirror. The day that God bless you with, you look in the mirror every day, and you know what I'm saying. You gotta recognize who you are. I'm not saying you can't change hey, you might change your swag, you might wear button ups, you might wear, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Whatever may change. You might cut your beard, cut your hair differently, you might grow your hair, who knows, you might wear glasses, whatever it is changing. You might read more, whatever it is, a woman will impact, especially when you're, you know what I'm saying, when it's somebody that you don't ever want to lose. You'll do whatever it takes to, you know what I'm saying, to make sure that, you know what I'm saying, you're doing your part to complete that woman. But I think, where people, in my opinion, where people lose their self is, you know what I'm saying, they stop including them into everything that they change. So you got to have some of you in everything you do. If that's going from, if you rock J's all through, you know what I'm saying, your
It's a
years of living,
characteristic.
right? Sometimes, you know what I'm saying, hey, you know what? I got this
Well, what
three-piece,
if I
but
made
these
him wear them
J's.
Jerusalem shoes sandals? He can't rock that behind me.
But listen, hey,
Ah,
hey,
I
but
know
go
they
with him to get his,
comfortable and they got a good sole, but we gotta go
go with it.
to the
You
Nike
got to go with
outlet
him
and
to
put
get it.
a
Nah,
Dr.
you
Scholl's in his
go with him to
Nike.
get his feet done. Take him to get his feet done. Then you
I
know what I'm saying, they're
guess.
gonna be poking out. Make it happen, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you
Hey,
enjoy.
but even getting your feet done, that's a misconception in the community. Like, bro, man, you gonna get your feet done, bro?
Cause they ain't
Like,
never had it
you don't
done.
do that.
You ain't
Like,
cause
never
they
had
ain't
your feet
mine. Cause
done.
they ain't
but
never had
listen,
it done. It feel
hey,
like
but
They
heaven.
ain't
listen,
never
bro.
had it done.
But listen, when I step off this in my truck
Huh?
on Saturday morning,
Yes,
Maylene,
sir.
be on these feet, doc.
Okay. Yeah, hey, Lily get me once a month. I go holler at Lily once a month.
Yeah, I definitely get mine
But
done.
but but
So,
shout at the end of speaking up for women have to be careful when they leave a joker for not changing, and then he waits for you to leave. Then he want to change. Some changes is only temporary to get y'all back. It's not saying like, okay, dang, I might as well go ahead and do it. I might as well go ahead and do it, man, to get her back, man, because I really don't want to lose her. But man, I'm still in. Hey, I'm gonna just do this thing for a little while, and then see if I can just slide myself,
I'll say
back to
this.
that.
I'll say this too. Women, you cannot change a man. Understand that's the first rule of thumb. You can't change them.
go ahead and close this
But
out, Mark. Go
but
ahead.
I
I
but
hear
I
three
but I,
points.
but
Come
I'll
on.
but I but I'll say this. Women, you can't change a man, but understand this, women, that a woman can bring out a different man in a different relationship. Understand that because just because he was one way with her, see, that's the part of him changing and conforming to that relationship. Doesn't mean he's going to be the
Growth.
same way with you. Because it's either going to be a growth. You can be a growth for a man, or you can be a setback. It's up
Woo!
to you. It's up to you as the woman to choose who you're going to be in this relationship with this man. And the thing about it is that you have to understand again the psyche, the mentality, the actions of your man, not everybody else, man. Your man. And you can't depict your man off of what was. You got to meet him where he at. If you meet your man where he at, then y'all will have a better relationship. Stop saying that ain't no good men out here, or stop saying that, oh, he not this or he not that. Let him be who he is, and then what you do, you can be who you are, but then there's some things that makes y'all compatible together, which is the reason why y'all are together. When you
Add
try
to
to
each other.
change, when you try to change a man, he's going to rebel, hands down. Quit, know your man. Don't let your friends tell you who your man is.
Whoa, that's a good one.
Don't
Yes,
let your
sir, doc.
family don't let your family tell you who your man is. If your man is not the type of man that does this, then he's just not the type of man that does that.
Right.
And that's just what it is. That doesn't mean you need to force him to be that person that you think everybody wants to see him as. Because to be honest with you, there's a lot of women wishing they had the man you had.
Come on.
Preach.
But you trying to
Jeez.
change him into something everybody wants, and then you get mad when everybody wants him because you change him into something everybody wants, and now you don't even want him because you don't recognize him no more.
Bro, I need to pass the collection plate to you, doc.
You
What an
know,
offering
so
plate.
Drop the cash tag.
Jesus.
Ding, ding, ding.
Oh my
that I'm
God.
just I'm just speaking from experience, man. You know, that's all I'm coming from experience in life. And you know, I'm the go-to guy for my homies, man, because they like, bro, how did you do it? And I tell them the first thing I had to do, I had to look in the mirror. That's the first thing I had to do.
Self-reflection every
I
time.
had to, bro, I had to
Every
be like
time.
Michael Jackson and recognize the man in the
The
mirror.
man
And
in
I'm
the
gonna be
mirror.
honest with you, what I seen in the mirror when I first looked in it, I didn't like.
Right.
Yes.
Because every woman that I had been with was pulling me to something that I didn't even know who I was anymore.
Yes, sir.
And what happened was I had to reevaluate, reconstruct, and revamp who I was, and then prepare myself for the woman that's going to come in my life, so that she can meet me, and then and walk beside me, not behind me. Because I'm gonna tell you a secret, women. Whatever your man presents you to be in his life, that's who his friends accept you to be in his life. If you present her as some chick,
Wow.
Woo.
his homie's gonna treat you as some chick.
Some
Shit.
chick. Yeah.
Because at the
Woo.
end of
Facts,
the
bro.
day,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, if I present her as this monogamous relationship woman with potential to marry her, then guess what? My sisters and my brothers are going to start calling her sis.
Whole different
Sis.
respect.
They're
Sis,
gonna be like, hey
sis,
sis, you good? Hey sis, hey sis.
Yeah.
Now if she just some fly by night chick, and then next week I got another fly by night chick, and then they're not gonna even speak to her. They're gonna be
That's
talking
old
amongst them,
girl.
bro. They're gonna be talking amongst themselves like, here go another one.
Old girl. Old girl
hey,
from last
that's
week.
old girl,
Help
doc.
us,
That's
sis.
old girl.
Help us.
You know what I'm
That's old
saying?
girl, doc.
That's old girl.
That's
I know old girl.
that's
Yeah.
old girl.
That's old
And
girl.
then if she come back, they're gonna be like, oh, that's old. Remember that's the one that,
You
and they gonna be like,
remember?
oh, she look different. Yeah, because he gonna been through so many.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you
Right.
have to understand, women, you can't change a man. Let the man be a man. You just make sure you be yourself. And I'm gonna tell you another secret, women, and I'm done. You have to understand this: a man is only gonna present himself to be something of who you are. Of
Who
who
are
you are.
you?
If your standards are lower and
Whoa.
you have low self-esteem and you have
Ladies.
a low self-confidence, then that's the type of man you're going to attract
No
because
effort.
Or
it's going to be easy for him to go there.
predators.
And he can
They're gonna
smell it. And
attack
he going
predators.
dude, and men can smell it. They
Oh
could
yeah.
they could be like, oh, she
Oh,
you
she
know,
weak. She
she
weak.
weak.
It's easy.
When women, and this is not to say women are bad, when women stop lowering their standards, men will up their standards.
Woo.
Yeah.
That's the thing. When women stop lowering, because it don't matter how much you can make six figures, doesn't mean your standards are high, doesn't mean your esteem is high. Most of your people who commit suicide are millionaires. So the thing about it is, it doesn't mean that. It just means that, hey, who are you? Are do you know who you are? Because I know who I am. Now that you know who you are and I know who you are, now let's build something together. Let's bring this thing together. Let's bring your 100 grand and my 100 grand together and make an
Come on,
empire.
100 grand.
And that's
And then
basically what it boils down
Ain't
to.
no.
and then Pastor Mark, you don't and then for women, man, you don't have to be with a person whose shoulder you've cried or who consoled you at one of your
Not at
weakest
all.
moments when you was
Yeah.
going through it with another joker. And now you done got to tangle with somebody you thought that cared about you, that loved you, because he gave you a shoulder to cry on. And now he done more damage than the joker that you
Yep.
were
They
just
actually
crying
hurt you the
about.
first time.
Yep.
That,
That's
Yeah.
that hurt you the
facts.
first
Yeah.
10 times. That hurt you the first time. But
Yeah.
the only
10
difference,
times.
the only difference is he know how to disguise it, because you already told him
Your
what you
business.
seen the previous time.
He know how to. He know how
You
to hold
told
a
them your
verse.
weakness. Yeah. That's why when I
Yeah.
used to go on dates, man, I used to tell women, don't tell me nothing about what you used to do or who was and who went.
I don't want to
Because
know your past.
I don't want to know that.
I don't
Because
want to know
I'm
nothing
me.
about it.
And I don't want you to think that I'm
Woo.
bringing you flowers and roses and opening your door because dude didn't do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You exposing your weakness to him. And then you wonder why he playing on it. Nah. Then you're trying to change him later. No, can't do it. You already exposed his weakness. He's gonna take advantage of your weakness. You already bought him stuff. You spoiled him when you first got him because you never experienced it before. Now you buying him Jordans, you buying him jewelry, and then he looking like, oh, now you're labeled. Now that he's a girl, you're labeled as an ATM
Or a duck.
because
We'll call him a duck.
that's
A
all
duck?
you is to him.
Duck,
And you
goose.
wonder why. That's all you is to him. You ain't nothing but an ATM, which means that he probably got a chef on the other side, which means that he probably got a masseuse on the other side.
And when it
Because
stopped, it's on to the next.
when it stopped, you're done. You're replaceable. You're a team.
Out of there.
You part of the team. You part of the squad.
Jesus.
You have been released to the draft.
It's the squad for me, Doc.
Yeah, you got to keep like was it Pastor Maurice said, you got to keep it simple. I mean, the first date you shouldn't tell all your business. It's funny because I used to go on dates and women be like, yeah, because back in and then I'm like, shorty, whoa, relax. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want to know all that. Like, I just want to know how you feeling tonight.
Right.
You okay? You okay? If everything's going, how was work? I don't care nothing about all that other stuff because I'm not concerned with what was. I got you in my present, so I'm going to deal with you in my present
My time.
and see if we can create a future. But right now, you failing.
But if you was for the streets, Doc, I don't think we can help you, Doc.
But guys know who for the streets and guys know who for the streets and who not. Like real talk, Willie, you laughing because you know it's facts. Guys know who for the streets and who not. Because I'm gonna tell you something, we'll raise our standards if we know we finna talk to shorty that's not from the streets.
Thanks, bro.
Listen,
The approach is different.
The approach is
Different
different.
every time.
It ain't gonna be no across the street. Hey Shay, it ain't gonna be none of that. Hey Shorty, come here. No, it's gonna excuse me, man. How you doing? Hey,
we gonna need to do a part 2 about this because we gonna really need to dissect how can y'all tell when a woman is from the streets and like we gonna need a part 2 because
No, it's not from the streets, it's for the streets.
For the street.
Jesus. We go because we don't hear enough from the man's point of view to really help and educate women on y'all thoughts and where
They
y'all
want the
are.
secrets.
And those who are watching, please inbox me your questions.
Hey, but the
that you
mind
wanna
is
hear from
turning.
our men. We should do this, I don't know, once a week or once a month. I don't know, where men just come together and we just have those conversations where it's like, listen,
helping men
women,
and
we
women.
want y'all
Yeah.
to understand because I do see a lot of miscommunication. I see a lot of generational gaps of, well, I was raised this way, but in 2022 it's this. It's a lot. Me and DK was talking earlier. I was like, dating is different in 2022. Like it's not what it was before we had got married.
Not at all.
It's not that at all.
Not at all.
It's very.
You don't know who you get now.
What?
It's Halloween.
Hey,
It's Halloween.
listen,
12 months a year.
Hey,
they got masks, face paintings.
Hey, bro, we went from $20 dates to now Chris $200, $300
Bro.
dates.
They want $40.
And they ain't even worth it.
$40.
That's the killer.
It ain't even worth it.
Ma'am, you are a $10 Happy Meal, and you want $300 steak.
There's actually women out here that know they're not finna give a man a chance, but only want the free, free meal.
Yep.
And they already know, hey man, I'm gonna get this man finna spend about $200.
And a goofy will do it. A goofy dude will do it.
And a goofy will do it, dog.
And listen, we're not talking about the women that are for the streets are hood chicks. It's even church chicks.
No. I'm starting there.
Exactly.
I'm starting there.
Church. Listen,
for the streets ain't got a direction. It's just for the streets. Church, the Walmart, the Target. Where you want to go?
Man, listen,
she could be anywhere.
Hey Dave, I had kind of say, man, I think I want a street chick, and I think I want to bring her to Christ, because some of these church chicks, my God, let me bring somebody to Christ.
Hey bro, I say this with all love, Willie.
They don't want a church woman to get her saved and bring her.
You can bring a horse to water. You can't make her drink.
I'm gonna be honest with you. My wife wasn't a church chick. Okay. Not at all. She is now, but not at all. Not at all. And it wasn't because that's what I wanted. It was necessary. Let's just put it like that. It was necessary because the church can do a lot of damage to some of these daughters of Zion. So Hey, Willie, and I'm a musician too. So you
Oh,
already
that
know, Dave. You
musician,
already know that.
yo.
That's a whole nother realm right there. That was a whole nother
Right
realm,
there.
man.
Woo!
They doing like this, right? They doing like that right
Musician
there,
in the
John.
church?
Yeah, yeah. Musician turned preacher, so it's a double whammy.
Woo!
Listen. We have
We need
extended our
a
time.
part 2, Shy.
What?
Part 2 on the way.
Gotta have a part 2 for real. Got to have a part 2. Listen, I thank each and every one of y'all for tuning in tomorrow night. We're going to talk about unforgiveness, all the bitterness people hold on to in relationships, traumas, our past, whatever. And Pastor Maurice and Pastor Candace Perry, they're going to be holding that, dissecting it, comparing it to the Word of God, and how to release some of y'all folks from the unforgiveness y'all hold. I mean, and just be petty.
I hope he's starting with leadership.
And want to lay hands and pray over you and all this stuff, and you just holding all this bitterness on
Grudge.
the inside.
That's nasty.
Grudge.
That's nasty.
That's what I said. I hope he's starting with leadership because it's starting right there.
Right there.
How
And
you
so
gonna
I
leave
hope
me?
y'all tune in tomorrow. David, Pastor Mark, Willie,
Pleasure.
thank y'all so much for tuning
pleasure, y'all.
in.
Pleasure.
We got to do a part 2.
Let's do
Definitely.
it. Let's do it.
Let's do it,
Let's
brother.
do it.
Definitely. Thank
Let's
y'all
do
all
it.
for tuning in. Until next time, speak it, y'all. Speak it. Ciao.
Ciao.